Trump just dropped 4 truth bombs that will stop crooked Hillary and her swampy pals in their tracks by US4Trump.com. On Saturday, President Trump lit up the Twitterverse, taking shot after shot at the corruption that is buried deep within the swamp. The president has found a new and great tactic to troll the left media and his haters, quoting other people who are seeing exactly what is going on. This way, the swamp can't use it against him. Stable genius. The president took to Twitter on Saturday exposing crooked Hillary, her swampy pals, and the lies that are unfolding. President Trump quoted Fox News' legal analyst Greg Jarrett Saturday morning, and then again Saturday night. Greg Jarrett pointed out that the Russia hoax is connected with crooked Hillary and Obama's DOJ and FBI. Next, the president quoted Jesse Waters, who noted that no information was ever given by the Trump team to Russia. President Trump didn't stop there, and he followed with a quote from Dan Bongino on the Trump Tower meeting between Don Trump Jr. While the media and the left want to do everything to take down President Trump, they are missing the real corruption because they are blinded by their hatred of Trump. In addition, the president tweeted, "Make America Great Again," as he's doing his part to fix America for everyone. The left is at war with the president, but they too will find out that the truth that the swamp is trying to bury. The president tweeted, "There's no fairness here." Let's take a look. There's no fairness here. If you're a Democrat or a friend of Hillary, you get immunity or off scot-free. If you're connected to Donald Trump, you get people like Robert Mueller and Andrew Weissman and his team of partisans, I would call them parasites, coming after you with a vengeance and abusing their positions of power. That's part of the story of the Russia hoax. Christopher Steele is on the payroll of Hillary Clinton. Wow, he came right out and said it. Wow, I loved him. Absolutely amazing. Christopher Steele is on the payroll of Hillary Clinton and the FBI, and when they fired him for lying, they continue to use him. Violation of FBI regulations. Kept trying to verify the unverifiable at Greg Jarrett. No information was ever given by the Trump team to Russia, yet the Hillary Clinton campaign paid for information from the Kremlin sources and just washed it through an intermediary, Christopher Steele, Jesse Waters. There is no possible way the Trump Tower meeting between Don Trump Jr. and a couple of Russians who have very deep connections to both Clinton and Fusion GPS, where no information on the Clintons was exchanged, is a crime. Dems are blinded by their hatred of Trump. Bongino. Make America Great Again. And we can watch Greg Jarrett discuss the Russian hoax with Judge Jeanine Pirro. It's time the American people know the truth behind the Russia hoax.
Conservative columnist John Solomon, along with author of the new book, The Russia Hoax, The Illicit Scheme to Clear Hillary Clinton and Frame Donald Trump, New York Times bestseller, and Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett. All right, John, I'm going to start with you. The latest on Bruce Orr and Andrew Weissman.
Yeah, no, it's an important story. He's been a secret character that flew under our radar for 18 months, and here's what we now know this week. Based on his testimony, the notes I wrote about a couple of weeks ago, We now know that Bruce Orr was facilitating Christopher Steele's contacts with the FBI and continuing them even after the FBI fired Christopher Steele for wrongly leaking to the media. He does this, and he's telling senior people in the Justice Department. Andrew Weissman, Bob Mueller's current deputy, is in the know on this by Bruce Orr. The FBI agents know this. They all know that Bruce Orr has a conflict of interest. His wife is working for the same firm as Christopher Steele on the same project to discredit Donald Trump during the investigation. And nobody puts a stop to this, and nobody in the Justice Department even seems to be curious. Bruce Orr said, Bob Mueller's never called me and interviewed me and asked me anything about what I was up to during the election or afterwards. What sort of Justice Department? It's sort of like girls gone wild at the DOJ. There's no oversight, and there's no one that seems to care in the Justice Department about this.
All right, so Greg, what is the legal significance of that, with Orr back channeling and bringing all this information and back to the DOJ and the FBI? And I'm not even asking about the wife yet.
Bob Mueller's team and his forthcoming report, if there is a report, has been hopelessly tainted and corrupted because Andrew Weissman was a participant in the Russian hoax using a false document, the dossier, to try to incriminate and frame Donald Trump for things he didn't do. So Weissman, according to Bruce Orr, knew that Christopher Steele composed it, was discredited as a liar, and that the document itself was not credible. This is like a detective who frames a suspect and then appoints himself to investigate the suspect over the crime for which he's been framed.
And not just appoints himself to be the person to prosecute the suspect, but gets the real prosecutor out of the way and says, oh, you're conflicted. I mean, and that's Jeff Sessions.
Oh, absolutely. So whatever Robert Mueller comes up with should never be believed. It's like the exclusionary rule.
Right.
Tainted, illegally obtained evidence should be excluded.
All right. And, John Solomon, I mean, what Greg says is absolutely correct. And we've been saying this from the get-go. This is all fruit of the poisonous tree. Everybody knew that Hillary paid for the dossier with the DNC. And the amazing part, as I said in my open, and as I talk about in the book, is no one is even looking at that and that campaign contribution. And yet there aren't the hookers, whores, and campaign contributions on the other side.
I have talked to many professionals who worked in a different era of the FBI when these things didn't go on, and here's what they told me. The only conspiracy they see is a conspiracy by the FBI to defraud and deceive the FISA court, to get a FISA warrant on false pretenses. That's a serious charge, and we have to have some accountability. I know people are talking about Congress and Jeff Sessions. The president has another option. What about a blue ribbon commission? Why not bring Louis Freeh or someone back and get an oversight body that's above reproach, above politics, look at this and tell us what the FBI really did right and wrong here. I don't think we're going to get an answer until we get something more independent looking at this evidence.
Well, do you agree with that, Greg?
Yes, the FISA court was defrauded. Evidence was concealed. The judges were deceived. The Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, John Roberts, is in charge of the FISA court. He appointed all of the judges. He should direct Rosemary Collyer, the presiding judge, to hold a for-cause hearing and get to the bottom of this. Haul all of these people in front of them, the FBI, the Department of Justice, explain yourselves. And if she determines this was a fraud on the court, a criminal referral should be made to the Department of Justice.
And you know what? I talk about this in Liars and Leakers. Why? Forget about John Roberts, which is a great concept, Supreme Court going after that judge. But why wouldn't the judge who signed the original warrant and 3 subsequent warrants hit the ceiling?
They should be angry that they were deceived and defrauded.
Unless they were part of the con. John Solomon, very quickly, I have 10 seconds left. Where are you going next?
Well, Papadopoulos started all this, right? The FBI started before Steele with Papadopoulos. I had a column this week in The Hill that showed that what the story the Justice Department gave the courts may not be true. I bet you we're going to find out the original predicate was wrong.
Thank you. Great job at The Hill. John Solomon, Greg Jarrett, thanks so much.
As I said, did Judge Collier file anything against the people that got the FISA warrant based on unverified documents and whatnot? No. And now we're expecting her now to prosecute the FBI and DOJ for this? And she's most likely an Obama appointee. That's why I said, why didn't the judge prosecute? This was a long time ago this news was out about getting the FISA warrants based on false pretenses. You see? So let's see what takes place. Only time will tell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.